Hello and welcome to Expat Life Part 3. I'm Mira Bayonne, and I have the pleasure of being joined today by this beautiful American expat living abroad in Santa Marta, Colombia. She
Yes.
is an entrepreneur with 5 businesses, right, in Santa Marta?
Yeah. Too
Five
much.
businesses. Okay. Wife, mother, and big Virgo energy,
Big Virgo.
Miss Rotisha Starks. Thank
Wow,
you
thank
for being
you.
here with us and sharing your time and your energy and your story.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for even thinking of me. Just to even come up on each other's pathway. I'm excited to see what happens after this.
Divine connections.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Before we delve into all of the juicy details of your story and your quest
Okay.
for living life abroad, I just would like for you to paint the picture of what your day looks like today.
Uh, well, today I got up about 4 a.m. I'm always up early, but I got up a little earlier today because I was interviewing virtual assistants, and they're about a 12-hour time difference for me. So I've been in interviews pretty much all day. I have a team that I typically work with from 11 to 6, but they are shooting currently right now at Salud our new menu items and our Halloween promotion. From there, when I get off the podcast with you, I have another meeting at 2:30, and then I have to go show a property this evening before the property is done. And eventually I'll get by to check on all of the businesses at some point before the night ends. But every day for me is pretty much different, right? I'm trying to grow my team. So I'm really looking for some key people to join us and help us with a lot of the digital marketing and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that's the snapshot of today. Now think back to the day you landed in Colombia and
Wow.
compare that. Is it anything, does it resemble anything of what you thought it would be? Does it exceed your expectations of what you thought this would be?
I'm gonna answer it two ways. It's a tricky one, right? When we decided to move here, I had psyched myself up. I'm like, okay, there's going to be bugs everywhere. We're going to be living like in the jungle. I tricked my mind to be like the worst case scenario. And then when I got here the first day, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? I even went through a couple months of depression, like mad with myself that I stayed in the US so long, like out of fear, right? And
Mhm.
fear is not even real, it's self-inflicted. So I was frustrated, like I could have been gone long time ago, living my best life. So I would say from the first day I got here, I came with a big group. Everyone wanted to come and see the place. So we did a lot of hanging out, took a lot of tours. And then within three to 4 months, I was like, okay, let's create something, because
Okay.
Virgo energy, right?
Yeah.
And so that's
Mhm.
how Best Wings came about first. And then now it's like I have so much going on. It's weird, but I'm like, what's next? Like, let's go, let's create because it's just staffing, right? And
Right.
organization and leadership. So it is a difference from now because I've seen Santa Marta grow a lot in 3 years. I've helped a lot of people move abroad here. So I have my community now. We work out together, we walk the beach together. So it is a different experience. I honestly, when I first got here, I thought me, my husband, and our son was the only Black people here. It was weird.
Mm.
But it was just the area we were staying in. It was that posh area. And so I'm so glad I moved closer to like the younger crowd, to, our community, and we get to walk more and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing's really changed. I was already looking like, what am I going to create? I was going to Bogota, looking at their wholesale markets and all this stuff. I was like, I'm going to do jeans, and, Colombia got the best jeans.
Ah, and coffee, right?
Yes, and coffee. And so I was it was gonna be ordained for me to create, right? So I would say I don't know, it feels like home now. It's almost like I forget Atlanta, like I forget what was that day-to-day life. I know it's better now though. Even with everything going on, it's still better.
So how long did it take to feel like home?
It was actually right away. I have some old videos that I'm like crying, ugly. I want to post them, but me and my husband sitting on the balcony. I remember this one so vividly. And I was just like, this place is magical. Like,
Wow.
because it wasn't just everybody like, oh yeah, the rent is cheap and all of that. It wasn't that. I've grown so much spiritually. I've had the time to like focus solely on myself and do that work, the work we
Hmm.
have to do for ourselves. And it was because, again, I'm moving to a place where I don't know the language. So all of the other distractions are not there. Um, Me and my husband grew tighter because we're here together, like
Yeah,
on
together.
dates,
Yeah.
and we don't hear anybody else's conversation. Back home, you people watch and you're looking over here and there, and it's just tunnel vision on you and the person you're with, and your creativity just explodes, and the food is natural and it's fresh. And so you don't have all of the chemicals blocking your pineal gland and everything you want to create. So this place, I've grown. I mean, I was already really kind of in the spiritual realm, but I know how much I've grown here since being here. And I think it's the water, it's the sun, it's the environment. So yeah, it was what I needed that I didn't know I needed.
So it sounds almost like your capacity has expanded by being
Yeah.
there.
Oh my God, yes. And I mean, I've always thought I could do anything, but it's so much more possible. Like I've had restaurants in Atlanta, I've had businesses there. The employees make basically what you make, so you can't really scale as big, and you can't create multiple things. And everybody's like, you only can do one thing. No, you can do many things.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what I love a lot as well, because I'm able to think of what I want to do and create it as quickly as I think about it. Something about this land I manifest even faster, to the point where I tell
Mm.
my husband, stop saying you want something, because there's work behind it and I have to do it. So I think that is what Colombia has really, really, really given me, the ability to like think of something and be like, yeah, we can do that. Let's
Hmm.
create it.
Hmm.
Let's create it. So, and it's weird. You would think with all that I'm doing, I wouldn't have no leisure time, but I don't have to really start working till 11 every day. And
It's
I can,
worked into the lifestyle.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. And before, our restaurants didn't open till 3. So it was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm up at 5, 4:45, and I'm like 3 p.m. Like, okay, what do I do? What do I
I
do?
know.
Like, so
Like,
it's
get it going. Like, I want to
get
do
it
this and be
going, something.
energized now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
As opposed to like American culture where it's like wake up
so
and you go
you
and you don't
go.
get the chance to energize naturally in the morning.
Exactly. And then in America, when I had the first restaurant, the rent costs, the employees costs, the tax on the employees costs, the tax
Yeah.
on the money you make. So it's just like, it's, I don't know, it's
It's a
weird.
pressure cooker
Yes,
here.
it's a
Hmm.
pressure cooker,
And you
and
in the slow cooker in
I'm in a
Colombia.
slow cooker. Yes,
Okay, so that's why you're simmering and yeah,
yes,
you're nice and marinated over there. That's
I'm
cool.
marinated. Yes.
I want to go back to what you were saying about the fears. So two things, right? So are you
Uh-huh.
telling us that there are no weird cripply crawler insects that you come across?
No, it's that is so
Because I
crazy.
think about that. I'm like,
Oh, no, no. And I've have so many videos like, where are the mosquitoes? Like we have a season where um there's bugs that fly by, like for a season, like be 2 weeks or so. And everybody knows when that happens,
yeah.
like when it gets a little colder there where you guys are. But other than that, no, like I have all of my windows open
Wow, that's
on my
beautiful.
balcony and
Yeah.
everything. And so nothing,
Okay.
it's, I don't know. Maybe if we were like up in the mountains or something like that, or I don't know, I'm in a condo. So, but I've been in homes. So it's weird. Not in Santa Marta, not yet. Thank
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm
God.
really interested because I heard you say that you somehow got in your mind when you were very young that you wanted
Mhm.
to go to Colombia. And so now that you're there, I'm wondering, is there any resonance that you feel of like, I know this place I
Yeah.
know that I'm supposed to be here. And what is that like?
So I think I get it more from the people that meet me. They're like, you see, like the way I pronunciate certain words, and they're like, you act it, I drive like them, people tell me, and stuff like that. So maybe in one past life I was here. I have to believe that anyway, because like, why would I just pick up and move
Yeah.
to Colombia? So it had to be in some life cycle, right? And I tell my husband all the time, like, we're gonna create major things here. There's no way the universe picked me up from everything I know, from all of our family and friends, and brought us here. And then the way things are like naturally happening, it's like the path of least resistance.
Right,
And
right.
so when I
You're in
noticed that,
flow.
I'm in flow. And so that's what I was like, okay, there's no objection to this. Even when we were moving, like I thought I was going to hear all of the negativity, and no. And I was like, what is going on? And I was just like, well, let's just go with it. And the process happened so fast. Like we came to visit here in May. In April, we left in May and we moved back in July. So it was just like, and this is coming from someone who had a mom who put fear in us, and I had to get rid of her, do all the shadow work for her.
Mm-hmm.
Who was like, don't travel, it's not safe, Americans, they're not going to come get you, people don't like America. And when I
You
was
mean
getting
at all or during that time
at
in 2020?
all
Oh, okay.
at all. So it's 7 of us, and a lot of us, like, they're coming now because I'm here. But she was always this way, and I always had this fear. I had a whole passport that expired. I never went anywhere. And
Mm.
then the download came. That's the only thing I can say. Everybody asks me, what made you do? I'm like, it's the universe. I had
Mhm.
no plan in this. And they were just like, you have to get out and it's time to go. And it's almost like I tell my husband, I think we were put here for protection. Not saying I want something bad to happen in America, but I honestly think we were brought here to be out of the way.
Right,
There's
right,
no
right.
other real explanation for it. And then my team and just how the businesses came about, it was like people ask me here, like, you didn't go through nothing. The owners of all the buildings are like amazing people. So yeah, it's weird. So I know I'm supposed to be here. I,
Hmm.
I don't know how to, yeah, this is.
How young were you when you first had that thought that you wanted to go to Colombia?
Now that was so bad about why I wanted, because I had.
I know. I don't think it was cute.
Yeah, so but I think I was middle school. I remember telling my
Ah,
girlfriends and all of that stuff. I was really bad a little bit, but into those things and stuff like that. And so that's the reason why I thought I was coming, but I guess the universe had another
wow. But the
plan
intuition from young
from
is
young.
really interesting.
It's
So I
really,
know that you went to Turkey and Mexico and then Colombia. So
yes.
what was it about Turkey and Mexico that didn't like grab you?
So if I had, I
And
still
where
would
did you
say
go in Mexico?
I went to Riviera Maya. I think that's the
Okay.
name of the area, but Mexico just wasn't my vibe. I honestly, my goal, okay, so I tell everybody when I have a consultation, what is your why of leaving? My why of leaving was I wanted a better food quality. I was vegan for a long time, but I was still having inflammation in my knees and in my back. I wanted a different environment for my son. And I know I'm not supposed to say this, but a lot of that stuff I just don't vibe with the men, and I just don't
Hmm.
vibe with it.
The
And I wanted
culture?
him to see, yes,
Yeah.
they're pushing on the kids. So I wanted him to see a different environment of men that didn't have the nails and all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and so that was one. And then the safety of it. It's like it's a weird thing. It's hard to explain to people. Like when I go out with my son or my husband in the US, I'm always looking around.
Head on a
Um,
swivel.
head on swivel.
Hmm.
No, you can't go to the next aisle. Stand
Yeah.
right here with me. And you would think it's ironic that my son comes here with his friends during the summer, and I'm like, yeah. They were like, I want to walk to the store, or I want
Mhm.
to go here. And I think that's a part of why he loves it so much, because he's actually being allowed to be a teenager.
Right. He has his independence.
He has his independence. I mean, it's astonishing to know, like back home, everyone drives their kids to school. No one's really standing at a bus stop because it's so dangerous. Here, all the schools are uniform. The kids are walking from young age to adult with no fear. They just lollygagging, having fun. They're not even thinking of the creeper, right? And
Right, right.
so that has been stripped from the children, that even experience of it. And you get here, and those are the things I notice. Like people come here and notice a lot of things, but I'm like the quality of life, like how we sit on a beach all day. I remember doing that when I was young with my cousins, but like no one does that now. And how everyone comes over, or when it's holiday, I don't have to go break the bank to get everyone a gift. Everyone is just appreciative of just normalcy. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it was just
Yeah.
like nostalgia. Like we went back in time, and
Yeah.
we're getting to be able to experience it all over again with everything we learned, and not to change it, not to tamper with it. And so I think that's what truly makes me happy. Um,
You
the
feel safe.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
at night, I walk the beach at night. I walk the beach during the day. It's like just how I just debrief myself. Me and my husband, we sit out there, we talk about everything, we manifest about over the water, because people don't realize you can do water magic, but it's I don't know, it's just a different environment.
Yeah. So your son is what, 13, 14?
14 now. Uh-huh.
Same as my son.
Yes.
So how how was it when you guys moved? Like, how did he adjust to the thought of moving abroad? How did your husband feel about moving abroad?
So that was weird too, because I was like, what if I came and I loved it and he didn't love it, right?
Yeah.
What if, and the fact that we all did, I'm okay. So my son is a Cancer,
Mine
and
too. When's his birthday? My son is July 2nd.
July 17th.
Ah, okay. So
So
the
I'm
water
sorry, July
works for
15th. My,
him.
my anniversary is the 17th. July. Yes, the water works for him, all of that. So he was really shy and like, you know how they like don't want to let people see them cry or
Right.
be emotional, because I was worried about that at first. And I remember I think the second, I don't know, we were on the balcony, me, him, and my husband. He was eating, and he just started just spitting out stuff like, why he felt Colombia was better, what was the difference, and how,
Oh,
yes. And
so
so
he gave it to you. You didn't have
he
to
gave
go like
it to
digging for
me.
it.
Yes. And so I
Oh,
jumped up, right? Because I'm laying down on the little chair, and I jumped up and I was like, Kingston. He was like, wait a minute, I'm not finished. So it was like he was having the spirit, like something was coming into him. And from that point on, I didn't have to worry. I didn't, because you just think like, damn, am I making a mistake? Like, what am I doing? That type of thing. But I think that was reassurance I needed to hear. Um, and he was articulating very well. And so I think
so
that
this is how long into you being there that he had this?
probably not even, I don't even think it was 3 months, not even
Oh,
that.
wow. So
Yes.
there was no trepidation prior?
No, no,
Wow.
because you got to remember too, like the place we, thank God, we landed in had so many amenities. I mean, I'm talking about bowling alleys, pools, jacuzzi, everything he
Hmm.
needed, and he could just go, right?
Hmm.
And then also one of his friends, his closest friend, he's been friends with for a long time, he's actually Colombian, and he had never been.
Oh,
And so we brought him here for the summer, and just to see them just go out and be boys. And it was just, I don't know, it was the universe.
I gotta tell you, the serendipity of just the sun situation, because Steve has always he got the I think the activation probably around the same time you did, where
Uh-huh.
he was saying, I feel like we should go around the pandemic time. I feel like we should go. But I'm a Taurus. I'm like, well, we gotta lay out a plan. Like, okay, I'm with you, but
Yeah.
listen, I need
I
to
ain't
know.
have no plan.
And we got these
No.
kids in tow. So you talking about your son, his name is Kingston.
Uh-huh.
Our son's name is Princeton.
What the hell is going on?
They are
What?
the same age. And so as you're telling me, and I'm resonating with it because Steve has always said, I just feel like maybe he just needs to be by the water.
It's
Maybe he
something.
would feel better by the water, and we have an affinity for it. So I got chills a little bit when you were
Oh
talking
my
about that with your
God.
son and the serendipity, the synchronicity that's there.
Yes.
Don't
I,
tell Steve. Don't tell
no,
Steve.
no, what's so funny too, I said to my husband when Steve posted your anniversary, and I think it was when you were coming in and your
Uh-huh.
family was there. And I
Uh-huh.
said, we look alike. We're gonna be sisters. I literally told my husband, like, we look alike because we have the distinctive feature, our chinky eyes. So
Hmm.
I was like, oh, we're gonna be sisters. But look, there's so many. I have one of my closest friends is moving here October 19th with her son. He'll be
Wow.
to,
Oh, so you just recruited everybody to come.
they like the moment, because I think everybody truly is fed up, right? They
Yeah.
just need to know like it's possible, and it really, really is. And I think what helped me when I first got here, we opened up Best Wings and we did expat night. So everybody pretty much that was coming through here was coming on Fridays to the restaurant, and I got to hear so many stories. I got to hear women traveling solo for 5 and 10 years by themselves, and I think their stories gave me even more strength of like,
Hmm.
whoa, wow, this is a thing.
Yeah. What were you hearing from them as their motivations to come there?
They left years before we even left. And then a lot of people, so I'm stationary, right? But there's a lot of people who travel every 6 months to other
Yeah.
countries. That's too much movement for
Yeah.
me per se, but to hear them thriving, to hear them betting on themselves, to hear them
Hmm.
creating ways to make income, to hear them say, I'm never going back. And they're alone. Here we are, we have husbands and stuff like that. So I think that gave me even more strength to know, like, wow. And then people always say, oh, well, you doing good because you have your husband. But no, I could do it by myself. And a lot of things I do by myself. He's working here from home on the laptop 10, 12 hours a day. And I'm out in the city creating, meeting, organizing. So I don't think it's that. I think I would be able to make it happen. Like, I don't know the many stories. I mean, people are traveling everywhere. And that even opened my eyes because I was like, okay, if I don't like Colombia, if we need to leave at any point, they gave me ideas of where to go next. And
Ah.
yes, and I already have different places I want to experience. I do want to go to the Thailands and the Vietnams and all of that for a series of months. And plus my son wants to go to everything China related or career related. So
Korea is beautiful.
yeah, so I want to definitely experience it, but I think this will forever be home based. It just speaks to me. The food is cleaner. I know I'm eating chicken without a
Right.
doubt. The moment I was vegan for a long time. The moment I saw the chicken, I was like, oh my God, this is real chicken, no glue, no byproducts, no nothing. And a lot of things, the conveyances of it, like my meats get delivered, my fruit get delivered, like not having to clean and do anything
Yeah, yeah,
years. Like,
yeah. So talk about the cost of living, like the food prices. Steve and I went grocery shopping the other day. It was like $800
oh my God.
for
Never.
a family of four. And we were
Oh,
still looking at the cart like, what did we get?
what did you get? Oh my God, no. Like, I we just ordered groceries this morning and they got I don't think I spent not even $50. Like literally, I'm not lying. It's amazing. No, for real. The
Wow.
lady came to do my nails today, but we had to reschedule. That's 30 pesos. That's like $9. That's for my nails and my feet. My
Wow.
lashes around like 20 USD. And that's for me to do like tinting and brow. Food, let's say this bag of apples maybe probably was like $1.
Mm.
Like, so
It's definitely a 4.99, 5.99
it might
here.
not even be $1, so I don't even
Wow.
imagine moving to a place where you no longer have to look at the price and
Wow.
be worried that you don't have it on your card. I think let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the calmness to your system that Colombia gives you, like you don't realize all the stress of like America, the news, the food, the police, the crime, the murders that you visually see, which is
Right.
crazy.
Right.
Um, the fear, constant fear of what if, and then go somewhere. Oh, the lack of money, not having enough. Where is the next coming from? Should I not pay this to pay,
Right.
all of the, it goes away.
Hmm.
It
You no
goes,
longer have to leverage your time to survive.
you don't have to leverage your time to survive. And so even when I think about businesses, I was like, okay, what was our rent that we were paying in the US? Okay, so I'll create enough businesses that equal out to that rent, right? And so that's how the three brick and mortars came about. So from rent of being imprisoned in our home because we didn't go anywhere, right?
Hmm.
You're just
Hmm.
a consumer ordering stuff online and everywhere. You didn't go places. Atlanta gets crazy. The shootouts at restaurants is
Yeah.
weird. And so
So it
now,
sounds like your creativity was being used only for survival's sake, not to thrive.
not to thrive, not to thrive. Exactly.
Mm.
And so you come here to a place and you're like, when I had the first restaurant and we closed it, I was like, I guess that's not what I'm going to ever do again. Right. So I go back into my corporate career and I'm in fraud and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what started the process of saying I needed to leave. And then coming here and within 3 months having a new business, like, hey, I'd like to rent this place. No problem. This is it.
Wow. So
Like,
they're receptive to Americans coming
no
and opening
credit
business.
check. There's no liquor license. There's no, like, sure, would you like it? Type of thing.
Mm.
And
And
these
the
are
customer base, they were, open and receptive to
all of
what you
that.
were bringing.
With Santa Marta is like a blank slate. Okay, so you have Cartagena that's like more Americanized, many travelers. And the same with Santa Marta, because I meet people from all over the world. I have friends everywhere now, and I think that's what's dope as well. Um, it's always tourism. It's
Mm.
always tourism, and it's always people looking for something else like vegan and vegetarian because Colombia has stuck to their tradition. So the food, 80% of the restaurants sell the same thing, right? So you
Mm.
come through with a new idea and something new flavor. Everybody's like, let's go, let's try. And I was worried at first, not worried, I wasn't, but when I would have tastings for the wings, people would say, oh, the Colombians don't like spicy. They eat those wings up now. And even my team was like, no spicy. Now they be like, oh, can I have some hot sauce? And I'll be looking at them like, oh, really?
Yeah,
So
I was going to ask, like, how much thought do you put into when you're opening these businesses of how it's going to off what it's going to offer to the culture that's already there and how receptive they are to that?
I think I really honestly, I just create because I'm in a strong belief system of who will come for me is going to come regardless, right?
Right.
So I think people limit themselves thinking about how to service so many people. I just create with the purest of love, and the universe will send people to me every single time.
Absolutely.
Every
Absolutely.
time.
So
Yes.
what do you think? I mean, I know that our capitalist system here in America is clearly by design. So,
Yeah.
and I know that you have a banking background.
Yes.
So with the structure and the systems that exist there in Colombia, is this American way of thinking just completely like we've been brainwashed? Like, clearly you're in a different system that operates and is operating, you know what I'm saying, there. What are the similarities and the differences of how government and business systems work there compared to America?
I think we've been brainwashed. I think we were brainwashed and didn't even realize it, almost like we were on a spell.
Mm.
Um, can you remember like when you were like 12, 13, and your cousins was around and everything was about family and the support of family and working together? It's still like that here. The
Mm.
one thing I love about Colombia, they allow the people to create and open businesses without all the red tape to siphon money from them, from permits, from all of these things. So you can ride around in certain neighborhoods and everybody got a business out front. Everyone got a business in their property. So I love that opportunity because I won't say the help that America gave us kind of pigeonholed us, but it kind of did, right? And they did it all in purpose of like taxation and
Right.
interest rates and all of that stuff.
Extraction
Extraction.
of our
And we
time, of our resources, of our souls.
yes, and in
Yeah.
our minds, we're thinking, oh, we're just the best and best. No, these people really believe in life quality. They really take off work and mean it. Sundays is a beach day, so everybody is at the beach. It's just a beautiful, different environment. Um, and it's
Is there
really,
poverty there?
yeah, of course, they have poverty pretty much in every country. But again, it's just like the US. We have poverty there, but not to say like if it's out of sight, out of mind, it's not out of sight, out of mind, but you can't control everything, right? And
Mhm.
those are places that we really wouldn't be. Um, are they working towards helping and coming up with different situations? I believe so. And then for another conversation, we'll talk about that. But no, there is poverty in the inner cities, like going 30, 40 minutes that way. But to them, those people are filthy rich in their mind, you know? Like,
Mm.
can you imagine like here in Colombia, they don't really have finance, like the banking system where you get lending and stuff. So when you do see these people, they own whatever
They're
that
not
they
living on credit
they're not
and
living on
debt.
credit and debt.
Mm.
And so that is a freedom already in itself. And it's almost like I won't say that they're poverty. I just think that they like, I'm comfortable. Because
Simple living.
if you create something else, it forces me to have to do something else. And then you're
Mhm.
probably going to take half of it anyway. So I think
Mhm.
it's more of that because they're happy. They're still enjoying life and doing those things. Is everyone happy? Probably not, but majority
That's
of the
just life, though.
that's
Yeah.
just life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the quality of life, the government is not so much involved. And I think that's why it feels so free here. I don't know, it's weird. Even with the police, like they're just here truly to serve,
Hmm.
which is
Wow.
weird, right?
Yeah, yeah. A completely different relationship.
A completely different relationship to the point now I'm so used to it. I just be talking to them. You would never, ever catch me
Hmm.
just randomly talking to a cop in the
Hmm.
US. But it's just they don't have no desire to pull out a gun and shoot you or hurt you or do all of those things. They're just here. And you would notice most of them are really, 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 really young. So
Hmm.
you ask yourself how much real crime could be going on with all of these young
Right, right.
officers. So it's something you have to see and experience because I still cannot put it in words like why. And everybody may not like Colombia. That's why I try to tell people online, find your place,
Hmm.
find your why. You have to start with your why. We don't have fast food here. We have one McDonald's and you ride past that place every day and nobody's in the line because
Hmm.
that's not what they're on. So
Yes.
slowing down your life, you can go to dinner and you might be at dinner 4 hours, but it's an amazing dinner and everyone is talking and no one's really on their phones and it's just an experience and having to get used to that because we come from like, all right, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Right.
Now it's like, yeah, like so, and
You can
just
be present.
you can be present. And
Mm.
it's so many positives that I overlook, like, oh God, I gotta go to the bank and it's gonna take me 4 hours today. I overlook that. I
Does it
over
take you 4 hours to get to the bank?
times when we first started doing the businesses and stuff like that, I think now I have a relationship with them and they eat at the restaurant, so things move a little quicker for me.
Mm.
But yeah, it can be that way, and I try to tell people when they move here like, hey, don't bring that American attitude here, you know,
Yeah. And the
like,
pace.
and the pace
Was that
train.
hard to get used to? A slower pace?
Yeah, I went through my moment like, let's go, hurry up, hurry up. And this what they do. Tranquilo.
Oh.
And look, me being American, I used to be like, don't stand at the me. Like,
Uh-huh. Uh,
but no, but now I'm just like, tranquilo. It's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Everything is okay. And then everything, and the concept of time has erased me. Like when I show up, I'm on time. I'm never late. I'm where I'm supposed to be. So,
Right.
so I've taken that out of my day-to-day routine. And so, yeah, once you let go of like trying to stick to your American, I guess, nuances, like
Mm-hmm.
it becomes even better. Like just relax, like enjoy,
You
laugh.
really become immersed in
Yes, I
culture of
laugh so much
Colombia.
every day. Like with my team. I'm so grateful. Um, and because I hear people having horror stories with employees, and I'm just like, and I have had, but I have had more good ones than bad ones. So yeah, I mean, I won't say there's never a day I'm not stressed. I run multiple businesses, but
Mm-hmm.
I deal with my stress differently than I do back home. I would lash out at home. I would get upset. My whole day would be ruined. But I know about frequency now. So I know it's okay. It's a
Mm-hmm.
solution to everything. And it's not personal. It's not directed at me. So focus on the solution or what I need to learn from what is giving me discomfort. And so that's mostly what it's about. I wish I had
And you
my,
have the space
I have
there
to
to
say
actually sit in that and calm your nervous system and tranquila.
that now that is what Colombia has done for me. Calmed my nervous system.
Mhm.
Oh boy, this Virgo mouth used to be something.
I know. I'm Virgo moon.
Yeah,
So I
so
know. You
so
because we're all about the details. The
yes.
details matter.
The
And why
details.
don't the details matter to you as much
Yeah.
as they matter to me? Yeah, I get
Well,
that.
my favorite one was nobody got common sense. Like that is just stupid.
Yeah.
But I've switched out all of that. Um, and yeah, it's just a different environment. And I will be here for a very long time. I don't see myself leaving Colombia for a while.
Okay, so it is home.
It's home. It's
How
definitely
is the education system there?
so you have private schools. I just did a tour for one, and a lot of them come to my Vamos Kids Park. Um, Berecha private school here in Santa Marta is by far amazing. I took my girlfriend there that's moving here next month, and she was like, the kids are just kids. And I was like, exactly. I didn't
Mhm.
have to, the crazy, if I can just tell a little story of how she came. She was on her way to Africa. She was in New York going to her next trip. Something happened crazy. And she said, this trip don't go through. I'm coming to Colombia. Literally, I hadn't seen
Wow.
her in almost maybe 20 years. I hadn't seen her. And so she called me. She was like, hey, I'm on my way to Santa Marta. She was
Wow.
here for 5 days. And in those 5 days, she said, I'm moving. She went home, sold everything, and she will be here next month. And with this
Wow.
October 19th with her
Wow.
son, another path of least resistance because
Yeah.
she had her son to worry about, her child's father to worry about, and they all were like, I'm ready to go now.
Mm.
And so she was like, I know I'm supposed to be. And I asked her, I want her to tell her story, but I asked her, I said, how do you know you want to move here? And I have a house manager called Fermina, but we call her grandma. And she said, the moment grandma hugged me, I felt
Oh.
safe. And she just started crying. I
Oh.
was like, oh my
We
God.
hold so much of the trauma
Woo!
of like never being able to relax,
Of never being able
you
to relax.
know. So I'm interested in again back to the education. What is the difference in the experience your son is having in school?
So I think the education here in Santa Marta is more like projects, creative, playful, no real cell phones. When you walk the campus, you feel the energy of the difference. The schools, they graduate with dual degrees, so they have the regular degree and then their Spanish degree. They are playing sports. They're doing projects. It's not like the traditional, let's keep reading this book over and over
Right,
again
right.
in history that we can't do anything
The
about,
pipeline to
the
college and
pipeline,
debt.
to
Yeah.
and so
Mhm.
I think it's more of that. And I think the cattiness, the joking, the over sexualization,
Right.
the cell phones, all of that is is not there. That was something my son had to get used to. You don't see the kids with the iPads. You don't see all
Ah.
of that stuff. So you get embarrassed to bring it out. You get
Oh.
embarrassed. Oh, yeah. You get
Oh.
embarrassed to sit with it
That
at
was
the,
like a boss parenting move.
you get embarrassed to bring it to the restaurant. So that goes
Ah,
away because now
wow.
it's like, oh, I do have more things to do. I love soccer. So let me go play soccer today.
Connect with people.
Let's go connect. And so it's a whole different, because I remember when he first came, the VR glasses had just came out. And so he had them and everybody wanted to come over and see it. And he was like, but why? And he couldn't understand the concept of why. And I was like, they don't have those things.
Yeah, it's novel to them.
It's novel to them.
Yeah.
And so hasn't pulled them out since. Hasn't
So
pulled
what
them
does
out.
tuition look like?
Tuition is not expensive. It's around like 500 and some dollars a month. And if you want a driver to pick him up and bring him to school, they have those packages, the uniform, and then
Wow.
there was another fee. There was another fee. So it ended up being around like 600
Wow.
USD a month per child.
Okay.
Yes. So
And we're
it's
over here paying
very
like a
affordable.
whole mortgage in education
And
just
they
to keep them
still,
safe.
just to keep them safe, and they still
Safer.
safer, and you still got to
Mhm.
worry about everything else, right?
Wow.
So I don't know, it's like unlocking a secret, because I was here over a year and a half, almost 2 years before I went on social media.
Mm.
I was like, no, not even that. I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't never trust social media, just never
Mm.
trusted it. And so I had the universe sent somebody my way,
Yeah.
and they kept saying, you need to get on, you need to get on. And I wouldn't do it the whole time they were here. And they were with me for like 6 months. And then the moment they left, I jumped on and I said, if I make the first video and it's easy, I'll continue to do it. But if it's hard, I would never do it again. And it was easy.
Mm. I love that you took heed to all your divine messages and that you've been
Yes.
obedient. And it sounds like you are being rewarded because you have leaned in with the trust to the universe, like, okay, take me.
Take me. And
Take
I'm
me and
here.
use me,
Yes.
and you are reaping the reward. So that's
I,
really cool.
I tell people all the time, the moment you step out on faith, I don't know how to explain it. Is it fearful? Yes, absolutely. But once you realize fear doesn't exist and it's just something you need to overcome, and fear is self-inflicted, then you won't have all these worries. But the moment you step out and listen to what's being told to you, you are going to be okay. Not
Hmm.
saying you're not going to have a stressful day, not saying you're not going to worry about what's going to happen next, because again, that's you got to
Hmm.
learn, you have to retrain your brain to not even go there and be
Right.
present, and to
Right.
stand on, no matter what I need to provide, no matter what I need to do, the universe will give it to me. When we came here, we didn't have everything figured out. Literally, I was just like, I don't care what I have, we're getting out of here. Because I've never had a battle the way I had a battle about leaving my job. It was like, nope, I don't care if you're working from home, you got to go. Nope, I don't care if they make it easier, you have to go. And I couldn't fight it. I've never had a spiritual battle like that in my life. And I had an easy job. I know how
Hmm.
to delegate, so I didn't have to do much every day. And
Hmm.
so when that kept happening, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna make it, babe. And thank God for my supportive husband. And so we came down here, and I figured out ways. And in my consultations, I tell people, look, I can tell you how to pull out about 50 to 100 before you leave. But we didn't have it figured out. And I don't care what I create, it's always going to cost me more than I thought it would cost me. And
So what's
so
a reasonable, I'm sorry,
go
what's a
ahead.
reasonable kind of nest egg to have that you feel comfortable with moving abroad? Like, what do you feel like you need to have with you when you leave here?
It depends on how you want to do it. I tell all my people, if you got $12,000, pay your rent for the year.
Okay.
Pay your rent for the year. Relax. I don't like people to work when they get here, because we have so many toxins in us. We need to detox everything.
Yeah.
Our mind needs to get better mentally, because we're so in a doubtful state, and like, you sure? You sure I don't need to work? No, you don't need to work. It's going to be okay.
Hmm.
So I tell everybody, for 30 days, don't do anything. Relax, walk to the beach, go eat some amazing food, clean out your system.
Right.
But I think if you have 12 grand, pay your rent for the year. If you can't figure out what you want to do in 365 days, we need to talk a different type of
Right.
conversation. Um, but reasonable. It's
Starting
relative.
at the living expenses, right? Because that is what,
That's it.
the primal need for survival
The
is like
primal need
food,
for survival.
shelter. Yeah.
Yes. Because in 1 year, you can come up with something digital. You can come up with, you don't have to do brick and mortar like me. I'm just saying, like that's just how I think. Um, but yeah, it's so much you can do. You got to remember the cost of an employee assistant here is very affordable. Um,
Is there like a minimum wage there?
yeah, they have it. It's about 1.4 million pesos. So what is that? Let's see. It's like $300 a month per.
Hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So and yeah, and then it's again, if you're creating something where you're still servicing the US or still servicing here, because again, it's a lot of foreigners that come through here and Colombians that are well off, you'll be okay. And that's the
Yeah.
good thing about it. You can create a business that will pay for itself fairly quickly, because you don't have so much overhead, right? Um, so I love that part of it. And it gives me that space of not stressing. I'm not
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I need to come up with $8,000 for the rent, another 30 grand for the employees. I got to buy
Right.
product, entertainment, I need marketing. No, it would
Yeah.
it would be years and years before it get to that point. Um,
Are you seeing the adoption of crypto out there? Are you seeing?
So want to know what's funny? And my husband said, we need to open up a place, small space, where we're teaching people and helping them sign up for their accounts, teaching them crypto, learning, blah, blah, blah. He told me this a year and a half ago. Literally,
Mm,
last 3 weeks, someone has came in front of our restaurant, the Best Wings, and it's packed. I mean, they have a line every day. It's called Doji. It's not Doji Corn. Let me ask my husband, baby, what's the corn place in front of us? They are packed every day signing people up, and they came up with a dope way to do it. I'm gonna tell
mm.
you offline. But
Okay.
so it's some kind of coin, and they're signing them up for the coin, and they're giving them like an incentive, a couple
Right.
pesos, whatever, to sign up, and they're being taught about it. Now, do I feel like it is a strong presence here in Santa Marta? No, I think that it's still um they're still afraid of it. They think it's, they'll be scammed. Now,
Right.
Bogota and Medellin is huge. I don't know if you guys have seen the articles about how they're trying to make Silicon Valley and Bogota, I mean, in Medellin. And so
Oh,
they have these houses that you can go to and learn about,
so
content
the
creation,
tech surging.
crypto, yep. And
Mm.
so that is happening, in the bigger cities, you're going to see more of the fast food chains. You're going to see more of like the IKEAs and all of that stuff. And so that's
Oh, so there
Santa.
are familiarities from home.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. But I wanted to get away from all of it. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure my food supply wasn't compromised.
A full
And
cleanse.
yeah, and the one thing I love, when I first got here, I could find a lot of different American products, and literally like a year in, they came out with a like salt law, like a certain amount of sodium, it cannot come here
Mm.
anymore. And then I don't know, let me show you this pack. They put this now on everything, literally. Excessive sugars, excessive
Mm.
sodium, so you can know before you even purchase it. So I do love that. So it's just a different, and I wanted to I wanted to cleanse. I really, really
Mm.
wanted to cleanse. And it's what good of having all of this amazing stuff and we feel horrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that was my motivation. Of course, you're gonna love Medellin. It's literally Atlanta on steroids.
Oh,
It's beautiful. The restaurants are crazy. They have every kind of concept. It's an amazing place. I'll
how
be there.
far is Medellin to from where you are?
It's about an hour flight, maybe an hour and a half. I'm gonna be there for
Oh, okay.
2 weeks. I leave
Okay.
on Sunday, but it's still, when I came here, I was like, I don't want to be in another Atlanta. There's so
Yeah.
many expats from Atlanta there. There's so many from New York. the WhatsApp chat group is constantly still talking about stuff from the US, and I just wanted to get
Yeah.
away from that. Cartagena
Is
to
Yeah, I was going to ask, is Cartagena the same way?
same way, but again, you have a different influx of tourism. All of these places have amazing tourism. To me, Cartagena was just too small.
Mhm.
It's almost like a roundabout for me.
Oh,
Just go like this, and that's it.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like, and I was like, wait a minute, no, because after the third day, I'm like, what's next? I've
Hmm.
already rented a boat. I've been to the different islands. I went to Old Town. What's next, you know? And so here
Yeah.
in Santa Marta, I have so many options. I can go to, they have like 26 beaches. I can go to Mica, I can
Wow.
go to Palomino, I can go to Taganga, I can go to Tyrona. And then I can still go to Cartagena if I want to. It's a 4-hour drive. I'm in between Cartagena and Barranquilla. Another place that I like is the industrial part of Colombia. And so they have a lot more of the restaurants. They have places like Sam's Club and stuff like that, but it's called Price Mart. So I still have that option if I need to. And then also I was chasing spirituality, right? I want to learn. I want our powers. I want to be able
Yeah.
to manifest and do all the things that we ordained are supposed to do. And
Hmm.
so this place spoke to me spiritually. They have a lot of shamans here. They do a lot of retreats here. So it just checked the boxes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It checked the boxes.
This is so good. This is so good. I just have one last question.
Sure.
And I'm so grateful for your generosity and you sharing everything that you know and your story. But I'm wondering, what do you know for sure now that you did not when all of this was just a dream? And that how do you feel that the courageousness of your shift is
Mm-hmm.
going to shift the trajectory of your lineage, which is your son?
Ooh, don't make me cry. Okay. So I think I've always been a confident person, and I've always had this innate intuition to listen to the voices or whatever and spirituality. But what I do know now is manifestation is real,
Mm,
and it does happen rapid. The 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 benefit of positive thinking,
mm-hmm,
um, not reacting, even
mm-hmm,
when somebody makes me upset because I lower my frequency, the frequency. Oh God.
mm-hmm.
The moment you learn about that, you unlock another level for your life.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't get that part in the States, but the frequency part truly
Because the frequency is low in the
the
States by
frequency is
design.
low. Yes. And
Yeah.
so I owned in on that here. Um, I don't know. I've always felt invincible and I could do everything, but I actually have the space to actually do everything. And yeah, I what I know now must be by water. My spirit,
Mm,
it has to be by water. Um, Weird things that has happened to me being in Colombia. I started my lock journey here, me and my husband. Craziest thing, I don't even meet people that if they have locks or they're really natural. So it's like the universe has just blocked everything else. I don't know, my reflection of life has changed. I can see, it's almost like you can see the play. Like
mm.
I can see what's about to happen for me and my family. I feel it.
You have
I know it.
clarity.
Yeah, it's all, I don't know how to explain it, but I knew I was going to be great back home, but I just I couldn't see it so visually. I couldn't feel it. I like, yeah, it's this place has brought me a deeper sense of self, um, a deeper understanding of our spirituality and our frequency because we're really just frequency, just vibrating. We just got skin over us and the power of what once you learn that you can pretty much change everything. Um, Maybe one day we'll talk about different examples so I can explain it to you. But if I could do if I could teach people about frequency, a lot of things have changed, like literally.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, what I know now is like, don't be afraid. Always be different from what everyone else is doing. Always think of your own thought process. Keep your circle small. Hanging out and all of that is a waste of time. Get amongst people who want to do business. And if they don't, move away. Because you're not aligned. Their frequency is totally different. You're gonna, like if I would have left long time ago, how far I would be, hanging out, thinking like, yeah, hey, we in the VIP, hey, we are. That is a waste of time.
Mhm.
Um, and so I really tell everybody when I meet, hey, look, I'm really busy. I don't have much time. If we're going to create something together, then perfect. But if you just want to hang out, I'm not the one. And I'm
Mm.
so honest and upfront, just in a nice way now. But yeah, I just think I'm unapologetically me. I was that
Mhm.
before, but I'm confident about it in a way where nothing can break me. You know how you be around your friends, you confident and you end up doing stuff that they do and you don't even like it and all that, but you trying to people please and still, oh, I need to have friends over everything. Like, girl, that
So
is
you're fully autonomous now.
I'm fully autonomous. I don't care if
And it
I have
sounds
somebody
like
in mind.
that is what the shift in the trajectory for your son is, that he will
Yes.
then have that freedom.
So much confidence. I mean, the words he speak now, he's so articulate. The spirituality is tapped in. Like, you can't play with him. Because if
Mm.
I am this way, I tell him all the time, I'm gonna make you so like indispensable. Like, and they're not gonna see you coming, you little pretty boy. They're not gonna see you coming. That, and that's what you need to be. And
Yeah.
so it's just, yeah, it's just the difference. I don't know if you can feel the wind just blowing. It's just this place just feels spiritual. It
Mm.
really does. Even if it can have a whole bunch of evil in it, and people like, oh, people are doing things here, there. It never has ever brought itself in my presence like
Wow.
it has. Yeah.
I
So
love that for you, Rotisha. I love that for you.
thank
And I can feel the peace and the joy
you.
emanating from you.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
hopefully this conversation will inspire that and cause a shift for whomever this reaches, you know.
absolutely. To find
So
their
thank you so
peace.
much for sharing.
Yes, when you guys are coming out.
Listen, Steve, like now.
Now let's go. Let's go.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know, maybe holiday, we'll see, but
Oh,
definitely something more to talk about. Um,
absolutely.
tell everyone, where to find you and how to connect.
All right, guys, you
But all
can
that business, all that business.
I know, right? You can find me at Rotisha's World on Instagram, on the website, on TikTok, on Facebook. And there you can see, the links to, the restaurants and everything we're doing and coming up. And I thank everybody who took the time to listen to this platform. And if you can tap in and if you are getting downloads, listen.
Yes, yes.
Listen to them because your greatest life could be on the other side.
Mm. Amen.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Rotisha.
you. I hope to hear from you guys
Yeah,
soon.
I'm still in the matrix, so I got to go rush to go pick up my daughter from school. But
Okay.
thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm gonna have Steve reach out to you about that coin.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Absolutely.
let's get that, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
All right. Ciao.
Have a
Ciao.
beautiful day. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Chuo bien.
Bye.
Bye.